The writing's on the wall, and that recession is coming. And we are seeing it kind of everywhere that we go. So how is this going to affect your business, and what can you do to sustain? Well, I'm gonna guide you through how you can use live streaming as a foundation for your online marketing plan so that your business can thrive through this recession. Take action now. Hi, my name is Desiree. Looking to grow your business with better social media and content marketing? Take action now. Hit that subscribe button and that bell below. This video is brought to you by StreamYard, which is what I have been using for years and years as my live streaming tool. And I'm sharing this with you because I truly believe that if you do this right, if you build the right community, if you have the right foundations, and if you use the time now, like if you start now, you will be able to be okay, because there's so many things that you can do with your live streaming to help you sustain your business and give you foundations. Now, I know you might be really worried and freaked out because like the title kind of leads its way to that, but it's really true. I don't want you to be caught off guard. I know that the whole reason this channel exists, the whole reason my business exists, is because of the last recession. I was a college grad who had no prospects because everything in my industry was closing down, shutting down, and not being available to me anymore. And I had to go into business for myself in order to have financial success, and which ended up being the greatest thing ever for me because I have so much freedom and say over what's going on in my life. And I know that I'm gonna be able to be okay through this time because I spent so much time building this awesome community here on YouTube and through things like live streaming, my podcast, and other things I do as a content creator. And I wanna make sure that you have that confidence as well. So let's dive into what you can do with live streaming to sustain you through the recession. So first things first, the wonderful thing about live streaming is being able to build a community. There's so many things when it comes to social media and online that talk about community. And it's so much easier said than done, right? You're like, okay, Desiree, yeah, I get it, community, social, following, all that stuff. It's really great, but how is that gonna make me money? When you can build raving fans for your brand and for your content, they will always rely on you. They will always buy from you. Some of you that are watching this video might be one of those people for here in this community who's come to me for StreamYard and live streaming and social media facts, information to help you through these hard times. And I respect that, and I love that energy, and that's why I'm here for you. And I know that I can count on you to watch these videos and apply the practices that we go over today so that you can have success and not have to scramble and worry. So when you build a community, you're gonna be able to have that old-fashioned TGIF SNCC mentality of people relying on you and your content on a regular basis. We all know that when we showed up on Friday nights way back in the day, we got our family members, our full house, our Boy Meets World, all of those reliable good times. We just sit our butts in front of that TV and just take it all in and just love every moment of it. Well, that's what you can do with your community with live streaming. If you have a show that you're building out, they know they can count on you. And every single time they see that alert pop up on their YouTube or on their LinkedIn or on their Facebook that says, so-and-so is going live, oh my God, I have to go watch that because they're my people. They're the people I turn to and I love to watch, and they will always be there and they will always consume for you. Build that community here with live streaming. So how do you do that? Well, first things first, you need to make sure that you have great content that is consistent on a regular basis. Your audience needs to know what they can count on for you during that time as well. So what are you about? Who do you talk to? What is like your go-to thing? Are you here to help businesses grow with better social media content marketing? Are you here to be the answer to XYZ problem? Are you here to solve all of their world's problems? Is your product something that they need, and here are all the things that they can do to support, or that your product supports them with, right? So really building that community and identifying those key factors is where success will lie for you with your community with live streaming. Now, what's really great about being able to live stream and having that community is you can build an email list. An email list is the lifeblood for anybody in online marketing. What is the first thing that you do as a business owner on a regular basis? Do you pull up your social media or do you go to your email? Where are you doing the vast majority of your communications? Where is the vast majority of the follow-up happening from everything else that you've been doing? That's right, it's happening in your inbox. I'm speaking from experience. I use my email list to communicate with you every single week. I have the fix that comes out every week with social media news, information, latest videos, things that you should know so that you can stay relevant and trendy within the social media space. You need to be doing that too with your live streams. So how do you build an email list with your live streams? I'm so glad you asked. Email list building starts with the right lead magnet. So whenever you're doing something, whatever you're talking about, you want to have a really good, too good to be free offer that gives so much value to your audience. Well, of course I'm going to go grab that free thing that they're talking about. I'm already a part of their community. I want to make sure that I can stay in contact with them and get more information from them because they're obviously giving me so much and helping me so much. Like, this is what makes sense. So for me, some of my lead magnets include content planning worksheets, free StreamYard overlays, 50 videos every business needs to make. These are videos and these are resources and these are things I have built out that help you so that I can then communicate with you on a regular basis with my email list. Having the right strong call to action for that lead magnet is going to be the key to your success. You want to make sure that you always include it in the message of your post. So like there's the comment section, there's the message part where it's going to have like all the information on there about what's going on. You can give that specific direction during the live stream that draws attention. And if you use a tool like StreamYard, you can have like that scroll along the bottom or a pop-up that happens or an overlay to give that call to action to tell people where to go to grab the lead magnet. One of the things I love the most about live streaming is that it's really budget friendly. Now on this YouTube channel, I have a lot of different parts and pieces that make this happen. I've got my editor Katie, I've got Mel who manages all the YouTube channels, I have custom thumbnails that makes my thumbnails, I have all these different systems that help make sure what I'm doing is the best it could possibly be. But live streaming allows me to kind of take all that stuff away and minimize my costs. If I want to have success on social media, specifically when it comes to YouTube and community building, by going live, I don't have to worry about editing so much. I don't have to worry about having all these other things in place to make it work for me. I can very simply just have a really strong title. I can create really great thumbnails and I can just put this up on the world to see unedited and ready to go. It's really okay for you to minimize perfection and all the extra bells and whistles. And it's more important for you to show up and be present. And of course, make sure that we can see and hear you, which, you know, if you have the right setup, a window and a webcam, you are set to go. So really consider that as a part of what you're doing because part of the recession means cutting back and figuring out where you can allocate your costs appropriately. And by doing that, live streaming can be a part of it. Now, a successful live stream is what's going to be the real linchpin in all of this. It doesn't matter if you show up regularly, if you have a lead magnet, if you're cutting your costs. If your content isn't good, no one's going to want to join your community and no one is going to watch. So it's really important to make sure that you have a well-defined plan for what's going to happen in your live stream. That is where something like a run of show is going to be super helpful. A run of show allows for you to have a solid flow for what is going to happen in your episode. You can have it up on your screen as like a Word doc or a Google document that's going to map out what's going to happen. You can even script out what you want to say. In fact, most people find that to be incredibly successful. That way you hit your beats right and you can make sure that everything you want to accomplish in the stream happens. But make sure you're leaving room for like conversation and flow. This is especially helpful too when you have a guest that's going to be on with you or if you're having an interview. That way you guys can kind of come together, collaborate on what's going to be said and accomplish what needs to be accomplished within it. A run of show is just a great way to keep things clean, keep things in flow, hit your beats, and of course have those repeating patterns that you need to have for people that are joining your live stream, making sure the lead magnet is getting the attention that it deserves, and of course engaging with your audience with the right questions. Now, as a social media manager, my favorite thing in the world is working smart, not hard. I have to make sure that I have a presence on a regular basis, not only just for me, but for the clients that we manage content for. We have to show up constantly for them on a daily basis. And so it kind of can get in this like grinding hamster wheel situation of always having to recreate content. And that is why live streaming is so great because I can take one live stream and repurpose that content for all my social media needs. With just one live stream, not only am I able to have one long form piece of content to engage with, but now I have a foundation for what I should say in my weekly emails. I can turn this live stream into a blog post. I can take that long video and divide it up into segments based on specific Q&As or points I'm trying to make that can be its own individual video. I can also take it and make it into a short or vertical video I can share on TikTok, Pinterest, Reels, and more. So one long form piece of content allows for me to have maximize my presence when it comes to what I do on social media. When I say long form, they don't need to be hour-long streams. Sometimes they can be, especially if you're having a good flow and a good conversation and great interaction from your audience. But sometimes they can just be a 10-15 minute tutorial where you're explaining something or teaching someone something. So really keep that in mind for what you're doing. So how you can use live streaming to simplify your social media sharing process and what's going to happen in your calendar. When we go back to our budgeting point, This is another way to streamline what that happens there. If you need to minimize costs by maybe not having an in-house social media manager, or you can't work with an agency, by being able to minimize how much time you spend creating content, it's going to allow for you to be more effective, but still maintain a really steady presence on your social media channels. The right tools make all of the difference when it comes to what you're doing with live streaming and social media marketing, which is why I love StreamYard, but I also love a lot of other tools that help make my magic happen. So watch this video I have for you right here where I share with you 10 tools I cannot live without as a social media manager. And watch this video right here because YouTube thinks you are really going to like it. And until next time, I will see you soon.